Today I grabbed a series of calls and decided to throw them together. We're joined by Brony Inspector, Sheldon, Pastel Opal. I found these old recordings. Today we're talking about things like foxler. I think I called him hoofler. I have no idea why, it's been a while. We broke down Pastel Opal's past with fowl, Xanadu, and Blum. It's a good fun pod. If you saw the last stream I unfortunately put up today, I apologize, that was shit, that's why I privated it. But this totally is not. First 14 minutes or so is between myself and Brony Inspector talking up the foxler's situation, as well as furries and edgy teenagers. Well, there's a massive call between myself, lioconvoy, Sheldon, I think Opal, and a bunch of other things going on, and I think the last 7 minutes, we kind of rib on Diablo 3 a bit. Please enjoy. If you enjoy, hit that upvote. If you don't, hit that downvote. This is my private video that's gonna go unlisted on some random bullshit channel. This is, and again, Opal, when you see this, you'd be like, Anthony, you're being a dumb faggot. Highly possible. Highly motherfucking possible. Between, I feel like you're trying to instigate like some massive or an escalation to say that you're the one responsible for whatever the hell Mint Heart's problem is. That's bullshit. That's not you. But I feel like you're nudging things, and my answer to you is you go be an edgy kid. Go be a 16-year-old edgelord. Right, you get your best out of your 16 years. I would have done it.
Honestly, if you had just gotten internet privileges back and you were like, all right, we're right back into the thick of things. Yeah, and you know what? Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? Whether you're doing it to have fun, whether you're doing it to test me, that's okay.
I honestly, if this was going for maximum damage, I don't see this.
I just like looked up kind of confused, going, what's going on? Why?
Surely you must have recognized your very own tactics.
Jesus Christ.
It only started to look familiar after a few minutes.
I know. It took me like 2 days to figure this shit out. I'm like, what are you doing? And it could be just complete coincidence. I do feel that someone's probably behind this. But even still, Opal, if you did this all on your own, I'm proud of you. if this is your own brand of faggotry, you go.
Well, that's why it got a heart, isn't it?
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah,
there you go, handing out hearts again.
Okay, so Opal, to give you a concept here, we were making a joke about someone's going to see that I hearted freaking Opal bitching about Mint Heart, and there's going to be a big, how dare you, Anthony Aguilar?
Well, it would seem there are some inconsistencies with exactly who and what it is you support. Would you care to explain your position on that?
I would not. I would not. Absolutely not. I totally would not.
Really, I didn't want to talk about it, so I gave it a heart.
Yeah, I thought it was funny and humorous, and then I just moved the fuck on. Oh God!
I don't have to agree with a good comment when I see one.
Yes.
Yeah. This might not be in line with what I think, but I know a good YouTube comment when one comes along.
Brony Inspector. What the fuck is it? My head isn't working. So this Friday. Yeah. How familiar are you with furries?
I am. I know a few.
Okay, so let me. There's a guy who's just the biggest faggot, and maybe in some of the, mostly probably the wrong ways. There's no way sugarcoating this. His name is Hoofler, and
is what?
Hoofler. And okay, so he's an alt furry.
Okay,
that's not the problem.
Good.
Nope, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And my whole reason to have him on is to be like, are you one, a racist, two, crazy, or just a troll? And, that's fine, but someone posted a video where he's like, hey, this guy ended up giving money to Cure the Wolf. He's trying to say it's only $10, but here's proof that it was $200 to get his... Yeah, and I'm like, ooh.
That looks like hush money to me, but
I didn't even think about that. Oh, Jesus, yeah, that's good. I hate
to think of that as someone paying off, like, don't you let my name come up when this shit hits the fan, is what that sounds like to me. Well, $200 is cheap, but furries are fucking cheap, so that doesn't, like...
Well, my thought, my
That's
thought,
a weekend pass.
yeah, no, my thought about that is that I was like, oh, I get it. You weren't able, because he says in his videos like, oh, Kira the Wolf's very busy. I can't get his attention. So he threw some money at him. That's how Lobies managed.
Okay, that works sometimes, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought, and I was like, okay, so, and you know what? Early on in the Kira drama, I might have made that mistake, and I would have had to been out there getting roasted right now. That's why I want to talk to this guy and be like, hey, look, I think you fucked up. I think instead of saying that, though, he kind of doubled down in a video. I was like, oh. I mean,
honestly, that seems to be what has been happening a lot with this. That all the people who, but once again, like, I feel like is this going to be one of those things where we wind up talking to the guy again, and he's just like, well, I think it wasn't it was $200. Like, if he just winds up being like a fucking, just like some fucking jughead motherfucker again, and like, I feel like every time it's like, well, another case closed. The bullies bullied the autistic person off the internet, and their job was done. Like,
well, look, and I don't. if he's a Nazi, I don't care. Right, I totally don't give a shit. I almost got Cathorax to come on for it. That's the dragon guy. And he's like,
man.
He considered
that'd be awesome.
He considered. His name was going in the goddamn fucking title.
Shit, yeah.
Bad idea podcast with
that's good fucking pod. That's good fucking pod, and not only that, that's good crossover for both channels. Like,
I think that's for him. That would have been bad optics. That's why he decided. But he was. Considered.
It would have been. Well, it would have taken some balls on his part. He would have had to have like actually got in front of his people and go like, "There's a reason I'm doing this with this guy."
I gave him a couple of options there where I was like, well, here's the whole thing. If you want to come in and ask a quick question, because he's like, I'm not really good at potting. I was like, that's why I offered you a co-host spot. Sitting there, if you think of something, or better yet, you could just throw me a question and I could either use it anonymously or credit you. And he's like, I just don't care about Hoofler. And I'm like, but I've heard you mention him a couple times in your videos.
Interesting. Yeah,
so kind of, sort of, itty bitty, kind of, sort of do. But I understand why, and I understand that he's kind of put his foot in his mouth enough where even if he's being a little inconsistent, I don't need to ride the motherfucker. It would have been neat if he came on, and that's fine. You know what? That's when you get to
it would have been better optics for you than for him. But I mean, what do they say? Screw the optics. I'm going. That's the meme these days, right?
I don't. You know what? I think this might potentially be all lose. If I definitely would have got Cathorax, it would have definitely. I could have defended it. I could have been like, well, blah blah blah. It seems like there's some other alt-right furries that don't like this guy either because he has a bunch of friends who are zoophiles or some crazy shit like that.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, that whole video got weirder and weirder. I had to spend like 2 to 3 hours of my fucking life trying to what the fuck is it? My brain isn't working. Jesus.
Because I'd heard about the alt furries group when I was at Biggest Little Fur Con, and they are straight up banned from that event.
The two groups, and I could be completely wrong about the second one. Pardon. Fucking burped. Thank you, dumb asshole. The other guys, what's his name? The Nazi, the very first guy, Hoofler. His group is called the Furry Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, which basically they don't like him because he's like pro. It's just a fantasy. He's like, but it's he's kind of like Digi on steroids, but it's as long as it's in the confines, and he's like doing the hands thing.
Yeah,
which is funny enough. When I showed it to somebody else, they're like, that's an autistic thing. I was like, Italians like to do that too, and don't call Italians autistic.
Exactly.
They don't like that at all, especially the hands ones. Those, they really don't like you.
Jesus. Did you see that American Dad where they turned Italian from the spaghetti sauce?
No,
that is they turn into this like stereotype Italian American family, and it's like, it is one of the like funniest like side gags on one of my favorite ones. Babies, all of you.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Haley's like yelling at Jeff. It's just,
I could see her beating
amazing.
him with a rolling pin. Yeah, absolutely. Christ. Let's see. 12-minute call.
But yeah, the other group you were saying that doesn't like him.
Here, I'll look it up on Twitter since I'm probably I'm going to cut the picture out of this anyways. So the guy on Twitter, his name is Blum. Seemed like a nice enough guy. Xanadu chat, where the fuck is this damn thing? Here, I'll fucking throw it here. Xanadu is the name of the fucking, I think, Instagram or some weird ass fucking... It took forever to fucking use that goddamn thing.
Xanadu.
Yeah.
Cost no one can say.
Yes. We have a cancer chat that applies for few rules. And the layout kind of is Skype-ish, but it only seems to work properly on fucking, your phone. And I was like, I'll go in there. I was like, if I need people for... By the way, would you like to come along for the hoofler fucking stream?
Hell yeah.
Okay, goody. I showed it to him. And he
don't have to ask me twice to stream. I'm okay. Like, I heard you say this thing once. You're like, God, once you start streaming, you just can't, you don't want to stop. So I'm like,
yeah. The faggotry
there's
is
just
strong.
Something great about going live, and it's like, yes, this is Autism Live.
Oh, but by the way, Opal, if this is all still in there, this doesn't, if you're offended that this discussion happens, this isn't, necessarily out to get you. If you, don't publish it, okay, I won't. But, this is just me going, yeah, you be an edgy teenager.
Yeah.
you go, teenager. I can't yell at a dog for eating dog food. You know what? That's probably not right. You can't yell at a cat for sleeping, I suppose.
Can't yell at a cat for taking a nap.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they do.
Yell at a cat for napping or whatever they do. You can't yell at a cat for napping. That's a new saying.
Okay, let's not talk about that in call. I'm just seeing if there's anything else going on right now.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck is that? Oh, I thought that said pedo commissions. That says repo commissions.
Repo commission. The dyslexia is...
What, Peppadoodles or something? And I was like, I'm kind of glancing at it, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? What the hell is getting retweeted?
I own pedo commissions. They just call it what it is now. All the art is now just called pedo commissions.
Yeah, I footage Twizzler in my course.
Yeah, well, there's no way this... Perhaps I will commission some art. There's no way this could be a setup. Pedo commissions, tailor-made.
You sound like fucking goddamn that one character, fucking St. Cloud.
Yeah. Oh, Augustus St. Cloud, yes. I have a lot of money.
Jesus Christ. You could tell he's just gonna go broke soon.
Yeah.
Jesus. Deep lore in the morning with Worski. Okay, I'm just checking along. God damn, look at this goddamn room. You want to look like a pink vomit bomb? Here, I'll show you this.
Yeah.
This is the kind of room that tells you to run the fuck away as fast as possible.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Animal Crossing.
That's a lot of animal.
Oh god.
That's a lot of Animal Crossing.
yes it is.
Oh gosh.
You know what? If Opal lets me publish this, that's going to be the thumbnail. Let me save this retarded janky ass piece of shit.
Oh,
boy.
That's a lot of anime.
I know.
And I'm like, no, I probably have more pony shit than this in my room than I'm looking at anime shit right now. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually one to talk, but that's a lot of anime shit right there.
Yeah, that's someone's corner of their room for a hardcore weeb. You do know that, right?
Man, and that's the thing. People see the ponies and they're like, "Oh, you're one of them horsey boys." Okay, I get they get what that is. Like anime, it's like, oh no, you're gonna talk to me about anime. Oh shit, you see that, and you're like, I gotta get out of here. They're gonna start talking about anime real soon, and I don't know how to. I can't stay in that conversation. Idiot. Ugh.
Yeah.
That anime, oh
boy.
Too much Japanese anime.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I could stop the recording.
Yeah.
Okay. I can tell. Yeah.
About helping me, if that makes sense. like he would always call me adorable, and he would always like RP hug with me, and he would text me a lot, and like I guess
so
it
he
was
had your
just
phone number.
easier. No, on Skype.
Okay, I was about to say you.
No, I don't give my phone number.
I was about to say no. You're talking to your mom. That's not cool.
Hold on,
No,
hold on,
no, no.
hold on, hold on. Did the compliments? So the compliments made you feel more comfortable?
No.
Trying to get somewhere, like you know what I'm saying? Like coming to me or Vita, it's kind of a gamble because you don't really.
Are they in a good mood today? Are they in a bad mood?
Yeah, are they really going to let me in? Like, who are these people? I only know them from these videos or these calls. Like, I don't fucking know. But with Fowl, he's clearly like, showing some kind of comfort or like
an enthusiasm towards what he was
doing. It's not even enthusiasm. It's more like his behavior is more predictable.
So,
I never, he didn't seem like he was as bad as he didn't seem to hit on everything with the goddamn skirt when I was around the motherfucker.
He was, the only time I really enjoyed Fowl's company is in group calls in Limbo.
You know what, yeah, me and Kichi said the same thing. I was like, if I was hanging out with 5 or 6 of my fucking online friends offline, if Fowl were 5 or 6, person in the group, he'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be fine. I probably wouldn't want to hang out with him one-on-one. But yeah, as a 5th or 6th wheel, yeah, he's okay.
5th or 6th wheel?
There were only two to 3 times where I ever talked to him outside of the group, and that was mostly because I was anxious about whatever. I don't even remember. But he wasn't much help, but
that story's
did he ever show you his Pikachu boxers or his fedora collection?
No, I would have said something if he did that.
That would have been the red flag. That would have done it.
Who did he send the picture of his penis to? I forget.
I used to be.
Don't send that picture to anyone.
No, I don't want it.
So it was sent to me by Mintheart, and then I took it. And I opened MS Paint, and I just put a big black square over the dick.
I thought you were going to say you put a fedora on top of the dick.
I should have done that. And then I sent it to the top of the barrel chat, so it was in, so you could see his. It was so disgusting. It was like because he had just cummed all over his stomach.
Okay.
The thing is that I admittedly used to be a real thot, but I never, ever wanted to deal with Fowl. He was the one person that made me real uncomfortable, and I only dealt with him because he was cool and calm, and he would get me in to talk to people that I admired, like Vita or Sheldon or Jace or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I felt so bad about the Dark Age thing, because I was like, oh great, we had our Toon Critic. That sucks. I can't look down with nearly as hard as I was 5 seconds ago.
Oh yeah, interesting.
I was like, yeah, we'll never protect a fucking pedophile. Oh, thanks, Fowl, you cunt.
Well, you didn't really protect a pedophile because you were.
Well, they didn't know. Yeah, they didn't know Toon was that far. I don't think.
When you found out about Fowl, you made a stream immediately, like the hour you knew about it. Dog Eye came in immediately, and he's like, "We got to do a stream about freaking Fowl," and I was like, "What? Let's go!" And if you listen to the very beginning of the call, Sheldon's like, "You holding up? I'm really tired," and Sheldon did the stream essentially. He came in, he took it over, he told us everything he needed to. We knocked out an hour, and that was it. We gotta make a stream about Dick Bigler Chicken. That broke my heart, because every time I read that, I laughed my ass off. I'm like, God damn it, Fowl. If you were just memeing and fucking around, we'd have to yell at you, but at least we wouldn't have to old yell at your dumb ass. And I would like to point out that because of my past, I might not seem as a very good source, but if you talk to people like was it Skypaw? I haven't talked to her in a long time. Uh-huh. And
name sounds familiar.
And Rocky. I have a story about
Skypaw. So basically, when we brought in Mintheart to talk about Fowl, I preferenced everyone's like, okay, so we're gonna talk to Mint. Nobody act like a dick. The minute Mintheart gets in the call, Skypaw just, you harlot, you took chicken away from us. I'm like, what the fuck, lady? What the hell is wrong with Oh, shit. You harlot. It was some stupid shit. As I was saying.
you can ask Skypaw or Rocky or Beans. I talked to them saying how like fowl was cringy and like weird before the whole shit happened. So I'm just saying that
you know whatever. I mean, like it doesn't matter to me. Even if you thought he was cringy or you thought he was cool, I don't care. You know, like.
Okay, so again,
Anthony, can you do me a teeny tiny favor?
Shoot.
So I remember you saying that in the next How Not to Brony or whatever, you would mention me being better.
Yeah.
Could you pretty please just say that my case with fowl was not as severe as people thought?
Have you been taking a lot of heat because of that?
I just don't.
What are you just trying to not like?
Like what are you worried about?
I'm
to
worried
not
about
seem too Me Too-ish. Like, what's your problem here?
My problem. Call me a paranoid fuck, but I really do think that Chambers of My Heart is very trigger happy and wants to see.
Okay, so let me cure you of the disease known as hope.
Vigilante.
Yeah, dude, you don't have to think that. It's true.
Yeah, your paranoia is 100% correct.
Yeah, so
right, it's not paranoia when you're right.
No, I got it. I understand that too. I did, Sheldon. You should have been around for that when I was mentioning something where I was kind of getting into a semi discussion with Opal argument, whatever. And I mentioned Chambers, and Chambers blows the Anthony Aguilar. You can't. Oh, it's about Opal. Never mind. Go ahead.
Anthony Aguilar.
I don't know. I was tired and at work, but the minute she saw it was about you, she was like, "No, you're good. Don't worry about it."
She does not like me.
And you don't like her either. Yeah.
I don't like her either. I drew a picture of her OC with the Kermit the Frog cutie mark and a dick.
Story tracks.
Hold on. Okay, whatever.
It was a long time ago.
Okay, no, I got it.
Maybe you don't know her. Maybe you don't even have to do the video thing. Can you just tell her to lay off because I'm not a bad person anymore?
Why don't you tell her yourself?
If she's not right, that's the other problem. Like,
just be like, bitch, what's your problem?
The board is still in play.
Maybe I would probably hold the bitch. A BLT hold the bitch.
I had a conversation with her. She really didn't want to talk to me and Vita and Jace, but we got her in a call, and we were talking about like what it means to be a pedophile, because she was disagreeing with like we were saying. She was making the argument that like pedophilia is illegal. I think she was saying yes, being a pedophile is illegal, and we were like, no, it's not.
No, that's child abuse and sexual abuse of children is illegal. Right. Yeah,
we're trying to explain this to her.
Statutory rape is a crime. Being a pedophile is not illegal. Yeah,
having thoughts is not illegal.
Yeah, like being a pedophile is having a mechanism of arousal that's particular to the form of a child, or is somewhere in those parameters, right? Like that's what a pedophile is.
Turn you on. They get your motor running.
I don't think did I ask you this one, Sheldon? Do you think that Digi is a pedophile?
I don't know.
I wouldn't be shocked. I'll be honest.
I wouldn't be shocked either. But I don't think.
I'll put it to you this way. The thing I thought about was concerning about that is if he was, his friends wouldn't say anything.
Like, there are certain things I like in anime that don't translate into real life, definitely.
No. Look, I've had that massive argument with a couple of people. If you look at your average anime, there's a lot of funny ones that are acceptable, but there's also a bunch of things in them that aren't, not so acceptable. I want to do a video of, like, how was I going to call it? Fucking what, the rise of Lolly and Cub and White. Maybe the degradation of society or some bullshit. The three culprits I came down to.
I better be in the thumbnail.
Rise of degeneracy.
No, it's not actually. Yeah, it's the three things I talk about are going to be furry,
anime.
Yeah, anime and technology. Because if it wasn't for fucking the internet and all this shit, you wouldn't have crap like Kiro if it wasn't for the internet. all these, you wouldn't have 20, 30 faggots who got together on necrophilia.
If we didn't have the internet, I think that Kira the Wolf, if he didn't fuck any roadkill, he would have, and if he did, he would be doing it more.
Well, here's my thought about that though. You wouldn't have had 20, 30 people spitballing and feeding off of one another and going, "Oh no, that's perfectly fine.
Yes, this is wonderful.
No,
How
you're okay.
Good this
It's
feels. It's
he
good,
might have.
dude.
He might have.
You're right on track. Yeah.
When you've got people sitting there egging you on, he might have done something bad, but would it have been as prolific and fucked up?
Well, at least he would have had the common sense to feel guilty about it. He wouldn't have just had people reassuring that he was right in what he did.
Yeah, and he might.
So I mean, a big part of this is the internet's fault, but the internet made them autistic. What a surprise!
Well, again, there's going to be a bit more nuance to it because I don't want to go pro censorship or some shit like that. But I'm like, it's if we're gonna, I'll
policing your own community, I guess. Is
I
the
have a very
truth of it.
I think, I mean, I've had plenty of controversial opinions, but at least when it comes to art and literature, I think that no matter how depraved or degenerate,
is not literature, you see.
Clop art. It's fine art.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The fine art of a clop fic.
But did you see the video of the guy? It's like this dude who just gets out of the shower and he has like a bathrobe on and he comes out of the shower and he turns on his video camera and he's like, guys, I was thinking in the shower, and clop can be really tasteful. And he goes on this.
I remember that. Like, he's like, why are you filming when you got out of the shower? Like, well, this is the cleanest I'll be all month, so I better film now before I'm disgusting.
I'm like, jeez. Anyways, Opal, what were you saying?
Yeah, Shelly, I think I remember watching that with you.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
I was saying that if certain laws are passed to say you can't draw this or you can't write about this, I really think that certain creative and actually interesting ideas
Could I pop in right there real quick? Okay, so basically great pieces of fucking literature, Shakespearean things, came about because fucking artists, writers, and the like had to rise and get around censorship. Whereas, when I see that the walls come down, you just get more decadent bullshit. Like, the worst thing
Heathenism bot rules.
Yeah, essentially, if you've ever, you know fucking Family Guy, right? Did you ever see Seth MacFarlane's Cavalcade of Comedy where he takes off the censorship bar? It's the shittiest thing he's ever done. Every time I see this censor bar go in the toilet, it's just like, we'll just make it ass. We could be fucked up, and in exchange of trying to get anything else across, people will buy it because it's fucked up. And they're right.
Well, that definitely was not funny. I've seen it a couple times because because
you wanted to see the fucked up part, right? Yeah. There's so many screwed up things in there. Because
the only thing that I thought was funny was the toothpaste.
I thought the dog knocking down the cat fucking thing at the beginning was kind of funny. There's some funny moments in there, but it's mostly retarded. I know what you're saying, but
I'm not talking about comedy, because usually when it comes to comedy,
I was talking about
there should
too.
be some restriction, or some kind of, not restriction, I can't think of the word.
I'm pretty libertarian on this.
Think about it like this.
Typically, I think the point here is when McFarlane resorts to stuff like that, it just isn't funny anymore.
Yeah.
Because a lot of comedy is what you don't show and what you don't say.
Well, our problem with this argument here is that we would literally need to turn to Digi and be like, okay, Digi, what lolicon anime is art? Let's have this discussion.
I think all lolicon is art.
Perfect.
No.
Yes.
It's like, hold on. It depends.
It's the opposite of wine.
Well, what's your definition of art exactly? Right.
It's okay. So you're going to be able to defeat this pretty easy. That it has some kind of influential impact on but that's everything. Theoretically, you could call anything art. It was like, it had an impact and it had some kind of emotional response that's sort of worth preserving, which is a completely subjective, throwaway bullshit, faggoty, pretentious term.
Modernism versus postmodernism. How do you feel? Kind of argument. Yeah.
There's no real way of policing it, and here's if you want to make a remark, if I were to have this argument with Leo, who doesn't like lolicon, I'm like, well, what stops something from being appropriate? I'm like, well, like I said, there's Mr. Hibbert from Family Guy, or I would turn to him more on point because he's a Venture Brothers fan. What about Sergeant Hatred? He's a pedophile. He's actually a 3-dimensional character that they made way more likely than they ever should have, and it's a great character. but it's also
well,
fucked
you know,
up.
what is and is not appropriate depends on your moral preferences, right?
And that's why I don't think the law should be involved in it.
The person who basically I'd like to use the perfect straw man for was Lily Pete when Corpulent hit him with that remark. Well, George Carlin makes rape jokes, and Lily Pete's, yeah, he's funny, but you can't expect your average person. Like, well, who the fuck is going to police that?
Yeah,
who's going to be the mechanism that says you have to be this funny? I don't know of like 5-6 people or a selected party.
Oh, good rape jokes.
Yeah, we don't want to head down the Tommy C route of fucking. Oh well, this here.
My wheelhouse.
This is what did he call it? Degeneracy or fucking obscenity? It's kind of hard.
There are 15 obscene words or whatever. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to fucking do that. I mean, you can tell when it's really fucked up and obvious, obviously. there's going to be, like, the bottom barrel shit.
Hey, Opal, do you know what an XLR cable is?
Yeah, we've been... Oh, no, dude.
An XLR cable?
An XLR cable is a microphone cable. Let's put it to this way. There's a really good headphone, at least for $60. It's the shitty one I have.
I showed her one. I put the $30 solution to this problem in chat already. I did not even want to get into it. Oh, Shelly, I got a new mic this week. I wanted to tell you about it.
Okay.
I got the Shure Super 55 pitch black edition.
Are you saying this because my mic is terrible?
Yes.
Well, I don't know what it is. It could be a number of things.
We don't know what it is, but I believe it is because she has a 99-cent store headset plugged into she has a stereo jack plugged into a triple prong plug, a triple ring plug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're on the phone.
My computer is awful.
Wait,
it can't play audio.
Phone? What?
My computer can't play audio unless there's headphones in, and I don't have a mic on my computer that'll work when I have headphones in.
That ungrounded, that parasitic loop on your audio is so weird. I wonder what's causing
your phone's microphone?
Did you drop your phone at some point?
Is this a
No, I'm very careful with my phone.
1990s? Like, what's happened?
Yeah.
What are you using?
I think it's an iPhone 6.
Okay.
I've had my iPhone for years, and it doesn't.
Do you have a case on it?
I have a rubber case. Here, I'll take it off.
Same.
Holy shit! I just fixed it. Did you just see me troubleshoot that?
Oh, it's the rubber case.
Did it work?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god, it fucking worked.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good job, man. That was great. Wow.
I don't know what happened.
So the case is it's causing a short or
something. It's causing a ground loop, probably with the battery.
I think what's happening is so the hole where the headphone jack would be, it doesn't fully fit the headphone itself, and so it's sort of half in, half out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you put it back on because I'm hearing it again?
Maybe it's just your head.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I hear something else now.
It might be my computer fan.
Okay.
No,
that's not your computer.
Yeah. No, it's something in the signal. Now it's coming back. Now I hear it.
I'm sorry. I had to unplug
you should probably just kill yourself.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
You should go buy an XLR cable from Amazon.com and fucking hang
Commission
yourself
me.
Yeah, and hang yourself.
Oh, all right. Here's the problem. The picture I need is a picture of Snake Thing with snake eyes, and I am not going to pay a 16-year-old to draw a real-life pedophile looking like a furry.
I'm 17.
I'm still not doing that. I'm just not doing that. That's
maybe Mary will do it. I'll hit her.
Yeah, I don't need Chambers in my heart showing up at my door going, "Why are you paying a 17-year-old to draw a pedophile?"
It's like a mugshot thing.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Back at him. It's empowering. Yeah.
No,
because it's my fetish, you bitch.
We don't kink shame.
Yes, you do.
No, do I?
Yeah.
How so? Which one?
I'm not giving that example.
Animated James?
That was Radix. When we had on Radix, literally the first things that came out of his mouth was...
I miss Radix. I wonder if he's dead.
No, he's still around. Are you kidding
I remember when... I found out about Animated James' secret DeviantArt when it was like a different name when he was trying to hide it. And then he just changed it to Weird Animated James or something.
I think it's still linked up on his fucking Twitter, where I looked over and said, "Oh, locking away now."
Have you read the comic he made?
Remember Snake Dragon Man and his?
He made a comic about like this girl who is like a master farter. Like she can control it, and she has adventures where she pranks her rich friend in the dorm she's living in, where she farts and stuff. And she went in the last episode, she went inside of a cake and hollowed it out. And she went inside of a cake where there's a party, and she farted so much that she passed out. And then they cut the cake, and the whole house smelled bad.
Oh, okay. See, I was picturing she like farts in the air expansion causes the cake to explode, but
maybe.
Well, I was going to say your memory of this is really particular. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, how many times have you read this?
Hold on. Let me explain that to you, Sheldon. When you see something really fucked up, it's easier to remember.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I remember I was in a call with my friend who also liked animated James.
Yeah, or having a friend who'll never shut the fuck up about it. I'm not a Call of Cthulhu aficionado, but I've had a couple people who are, so I remember.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I found.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I do kind of keep
sorry,
up.
I'll be sure not to bring that up, dude.
No.
Which is something I could literally bring up at any moment. I could start talking about it. Never mind, I won't do it.
No, it's okay.
Here's some of the characters. Let me get this.
No, you're
I don't want to know about.
All right. So Opal, you're being a donut.
Okay, Opal, we know you're into fart comics. That's.
I'm not into fart comics.
Please, this is like the kind of thing where
I'll put Radix in this call and he'll make you cry.
You need to ask yourself, am I doing inappropriate, weird stuff online that'll get me in trouble again? You are walking the line of that.
Yeah. No, there's nothing bad in it.
It's a weird fart comic that everyone expressed like not exactly wanting to see, and then you were like, let me read it to you.
Yeah, this is like Donut talking about certain artists. It'd be of Donut's like, so let me tell you about Boku no Pico Donut, stop. And then they'd keep going. I'm like, Donut, if you were here, I'd punch you in the mouth.
I'm talking about Speed Racer, guys. Speed Racer.
That's high average for Donut.
Now, here's the thing. You can't talk about Speed Racer without talking about Gigantor. So, I'm going to take this back. I'm going to explain a little bit about Gigantor first.
Well, I think I've dealt with that sort of problem throughout my whole life.
Okay.
Of making people uncomfortable. So thank you for telling me.
Okay.
Well, and then from the people who are like in their 30s in the call who are like, "Yep, we've definitely done that."
This is where I'm going to get in trouble if you know certain people hear this call. Is like maybe it's conversations like that made people like Fowl's ears perk up and going, maybe you shouldn't.
Talk about an animated James fart comic.
Yeah, maybe Fowl thought
right because now it's like this
because it wasn't a bad comic. It wasn't a
because you're already being bad online. What difference if you got someone else to be bad with online now?
No, I'm not doing anything bad. I haven't drawn anything. I haven't said anything.
No, I'm talking about the context of that time, though. You do get what I'm saying, right? How someone who's doing bad stuff online's ears might perk up when they pick up on stuff like that.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I just really like white people. That's all I'm thinking about, right?
Right. No, I'm glad I'm in a call with
other white
Sheldon,
people. You should go watch fucking Murdoch then.
Anthony isn't white.
I do like Murdoch.
Did you see the Martin Luther King one?
I did.
Yeah. No, that's always the one I show to people first.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that.
All I know is that I can't do any bad stuff for a year.
Hey, that. Speaking of bad stuff, of someone who just promised not to do bad stuff, you actually just reminded me of something that you mentioned at the beginning of the stream the other day, which was about the chat raid that you orchestrated. You mentioned someone who definitely caused a ping on my radar. You said that you and Jay Moore were the ones who did that. That was all you and Jay Moore's idea.
What? Oh, no. I was in a call with Jay Moore because I was bored and he was playing video games and I didn't have anyone to talk to.
Okay, the way you know, we do have the recording of that. What would have been interesting? Or no, I don't think we do. Damn.
It was at the beginning of the stream. Well, we don't.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
The beginning of is she goes like, "That wasn't me and that other guy. It was just me and Jay Moore."
Say it.
So, like, did Jay Moore open up? No, hold it. This is what I want to ask. Did Jay Moore open up? So let me go to my Lolicon Shota file. No, use this, and the. Yeah, okay, damn it all.
All right.
Okay.
What had happened is that I was bored and he was playing video games, and I'm all like, "Hey, I'm in limbo, and I don't really care.
Okay.
I'm gonna rate it. Let's get Vita and Sheldon. It was all me. Nobody else started it but me.
But it's weird that you said Jay more than he.
No, that definitely like.
You're fucking paranoid about Jay Moore all the time anyway.
I didn't know until Brony Inspector pointed it out. Yeah, Brony Inspector pointed it out.
Oh, excuse me. I'm the one who's paranoid about Jay Moore, not Anthony.
I haven't cared about Jay Moore in months.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
Why do you care about Jay Moore?
Doesn't matter, because he pissed me off once.
Such a petty asshole. I love him.
You let Jay Moore piss you off? That's pretty sad. Oh shit.
See, that's the thing. He got Hyatt Regency security on my ass, and I don't
Oh, you're talking about the con.
Oh, the thing
Wait,
thing. Yes.
How'd that happen?
Because he didn't register, and rather than register, because of a bunch of reasons that were all just stupid things that he did, and I told him like Thursday night, everyone's coming down to register. Let's do this, boys. Like, he's like, fuck this con, I'm not registering, and I'm like, oh, okay, one of these, huh? And then. Yeah, well, regardless of whether he was or wasn't banned, whether he knew he was or wasn't banned at the time, he should have known what he did was gonna get fucking security poking around. And that's just like, oh, good, my whole thing that I spent all this money on doing, and you're gonna shut down the whole party floor for the whole con. Like, it was that touchy for a second. Like, there was such a fucking shitstorm around that. Like during the critical time of the day where you're supposed to be preparing your party suite for the Saturday night festivities, I am doing fucking damage control on this guy getting kicked out of the con who happened to room share with our group.
To be honest, I haven't been listening to anything you said. I just assume that since you're talking for a long time, you're really passionate, so I won't bring him up.
Wow.
No, it's fine. Bring him up all you want.
Sheldon. Do you? If I called Pastel Opal a nigger for saying that, would I be wrong?
That was a bit niggardly. With
it was quite niggerish. My word.
Yeah.
I've heard the context and the flavors and the textures of the words that came out of your mouth. I couldn't derive what they were of that filthy mongrel language that you were doing. I'll assume it was important.
I'm sorry. Like I tried to explain to you my dog in this fight and why I'm exactly
don't
pissed
care.
about Jay
Oh
Moore.
my goddamn.
Okay.
Wow.
At least I'm sorry.
I just know that Jay Moore isn't like that bad to me, so.
Yeah,
wow.
If he had been slightly hotter, we'd have to be nice to you right now.
So hold it. No, you just did a bayfish there. We're like, I feel bad at what happened to Fowl. He was always nice to me. He was the only one nice to me in Barrel. And I was like, what a thought.
Well, I don't know what Brony Inspector is. I don't know who he is. I don't think
Good.
Sheldon's hot.
Good.
I don't think that you're hot. I don't think Anthony's hot.
No,
And
Good.
I think
Good.
that you guys
Good.
are nice people.
So Leo,
Okay.
you gotta hear this. So basically, freaking Opal, I almost called her a thought. But freaking's like, I want you to explain what's going on. Bernie Inspector Passion, he explains, and she's like, I heard the words that came out of your mouth, but I couldn't decipher their meaning. And she said it like unironically, like, you know.
It'd be fun to know whether we're recording right now or not.
I am. I totally am now. Are you
information?
kidding me? No, I've been going for a while now. It was like,
I'm glad we're doubled up on this then, Mr. Aguilar.
Oh, me too.
Detective, fucking commissioner. Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't care. I just wanted to know.
No, there's nothing. Okay, there's some funny
I like
shit.
Jay
No going back now.
Jay Moore's cool, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Hey, we got a Sheldon D up in here, yo.
Shockingly, Anthony let me in here. I know, I'm shocked.
He said he was bored, and I was like, story tracks.
Oh, since I got you all here, Anthony,
Yeah.
Opal approached me earlier today asking me, since I am your friend, if I could convince you to let her into limbo.
No.
Oh, not now. No, she almost had it.
After this discussion? Oh,
God, she was so close. Oh my God,
No,
she
I
was
wasn't.
so fucking close. No.
Sheldon will get back in there before Opal. Are you kidding me?
Anthony, I've been your buddy since 2014.
That's exactly why. Yeah.
We started a brony empire, man.
Right.
I know you're quoting Faith, by the way.
PFC?
Yeah.
That's right.
Room?
Shit.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Anthony, may I ask, and I'm not going to bug you on it. The reason why I want to get into limbo is because Top of the Barrel is either calling me autistic or boring, and
come
Cool
on.
Kids Club is extra
Is it getting
boring.
to you? Is it getting to you when people
No,
make
it's not getting to me. It's
I
just
don't
that I
know.
can't listen. It's just that I can't have a conversation without people joking around.
Well, look,
Yeah,
I don't want to ever have a conversation with you again. It feels like a waste of time to me.
Oh, ouch. Ouch. ouch.
Okay, so hold it. I'm prepared to start calls in here like 2-3 times a day, try and get it going. I did that with Rocky. If Opal's going to be around, I'll fucking bring this room to life, especially with Sheldon here.
Like,
Yeah, you kidding me? Yeah, we could
Really?
make this
Yeah.
a fucking active room. That was always the
no,
plan.
Well, then,
I will
if
say,
that's the case, I don't
hold
really
on,
care.
Hold on. I do feel that your statement about the barrel in terms of conversation is inaccurate and incorrect.
Wow.
Sheldon and I, at least Sheldon and I, have had multiple in-depth, sincere conversations with minimal to no joking. I believe that you have just hopped back in for a couple of weeks, and because it's not lively immediately, that you are making assumptions based on literally nothing.
or
here's,
you're
here's
not.
the thing about top.
fair.
Well, hold on. Let me interject because
Yeah.
this is pretty accurate. I mean, it's me, it's Leo, sometimes Stalin, and Vita. We're kind of sometimes Jace too, but when Jace and me are around, especially, we just start fucking around with people. But it's really these three primary individuals that actually have long form kind of conversations about things. It's really nobody else, as far as I can tell, for what I've seen.
I'm not trying to sound like, there's no intellectual discussion going on.
No, this isn't
so-
about intellectual
No, no,
discussion.
no.
You said it was boring. The problem is you keep hopping in calls with beans and stuff and expect, what they're not going to give you. It's like me walking to a barber shop and being upset that they didn't give me a milkshake.
Yeah.
That is true. Like, maybe I am assuming
I've been
things.
well fucking goddamn transparent in my thoughts and feelings of Beans and her intellect, or lack thereof.
Beans!
Yeah. Every branch on the dumb bitch.
I like beans.
I like Beans too.
but-
Yeah.
Well, Leo, I would like to apologize. I usually come in at bad times. I think it's a time zone issue.
It's not
You
a
know
time
what?
zone issue, it's a you issue.
Oh, okay.
I've noticed a lot of bleed over here, right? We have Beans, and then we have Steph, and Leo, and
Yeah.
Opal. Look at all this. We should just merge our rooms. I
It's
think.
barrel light and no loony. We're not going to do that.
You
We should-
tried, Sheldon. You
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah, 5 pounds. Yeah, 5 pounds of cake and 5 pounds of ass is 10 pounds of ass.
Here, I have a solution for my main problem. If I am doing something bad, tell me, and
Well, okay,
I will
again,
stop.
the worst thing that you did in call, which you just had to stop, was stop talking. No one wanted to know. Like, it's funny to be mentioned. Animated James, crazy nigga with a fart fetish. I didn't want you to go into intimate, categorized detail of your thesis statement
I
about.
think that's my main problem talking to people, is that I
Don't know when to shut up. You're a teenager. Of course you don't.
no, it's I have a very hard time with social cues sometimes.
You're a teenager. Of course you do.
Autism. Oh, I see.
I actually am autistic.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you just did that there. The whole world didn't need to know.
It's okay, Opal. I'm autistic.
Well, it's your choice if you want to put it up on the internet, and I don't care if people
In
know.
all
Okay,
honesty,
fine,
I
whatever.
don't think this is Opal. I think this is the carcass of Opal that has been taken over by like a sentient hive mind of hornets. That's why there's buzzing all the time whenever Opal's.
Oof.
And it explains why Opal keeps trying to get into places like I need to lay my larvae.
You're acting like
Larvae.
British Ninja right now. You're like, I'm gonna try and get into all the cool rooms so I can just, spread out a little bit.
It's so I can find a place
Well,
to put my crutches, Governor.
There's potential, like I wouldn't say career opportunities, but like
Hi, Rachel.
people.
Career opportunity.
Whoa, whoa,
No,
whoa,
like, that's what
Anthony,
I
that
said.
was
It's not
uncalled for,
necessarily that. No, I'm saying like there's potential for like me to get like.
Well, what was
friends.
your line about limbo, Anthony? You're either on the way up or on the way down.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to.
Trying to remember how
think my
fucking
main
Tom
point-
Cruise said it. You're either on the mound or out of the field.
I had a fun time in Limbo, and
We've got cool people in the room. There's Leo. There's Brony Inspector. There's Sheldon. David's all right. He's like, gee, gosh, fuck you too. But yeah,
I just don't know most of the people here.
Pretty much.
yeah, this is a solid call. This would be a god tier call in fucking Limbo.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, this is good. No, I mean, we've been going all day, but yeah, like this has been a good day for fucking Limbo calls, honestly.
Yeah, there's
Opal, here's what you do. You take a page out of the teenage book from the 90s. You got to steal it from your mom first. But you take that page out of that book,
Good.
and you go socialize in a place where humans run around.
Yeah.
And then I send you my mom's number.
I'll
Nice.
settle. I will settle with a bra if you can find one,
oh Jesus.
so I can at least hang it on the wall.
Oh.
There's some of them have blood on them.
What?
I'll be right back.
Okay then. Alright.
Anthony leaves.
It's like Anthony was looking at that and like, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
I'm kidding.
No, you got to learn to socialize with real people, because what you're trying to do here, and I'm old enough to know what it is. You're trying to get the social interaction that you're supposed to in real life online, and diminishing returns are one thing, and also it's never going to fill that void.
Well, you know
Oh,
what?
totally.
I actually have another theory about what it is, and I almost don't want to say it. But
Well, you notice you never
I
did.
know, and I know I have to now after I say that, and I feel like I need to preface it with that. But she wants to go where she can listen to the bad boys talk. She wants to go into a call where the bad boys are all going to talk, and she can sit and listen, and that makes her feel good for some reason.
But are we bad boys?
No. It's about impression. It's about sitting around and listening to the boys talk.
Yeah,
I feel like that's mostly what she's trying to do.
Let me give you a little advice here, Oval. You don't have to deal with Angel Heart in this room.
I
Yeah?
don't know who Angel Heart is.
You don't
I
want to
forgot
know.
him.
You do.
The fact that you don't know is for the best.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Oh, all right. So Angel Heart.
Shelly, I think you just made your new best
So
friend.
I'll put this
All
this
right.
way, Sheldon. Angel Heart is like, you know, if Top of the Barrel decided to keep Armada or Ryu, that would be Angel Heart. It's their version.
I remember Ryu was autistic.
Oh yeah, oh baby.
Well, now I definitely want to meet them.
Oh yeah, well.
I don't think you do.
The autists are my favorite.
Oh,
So what you should be worried about is the fact that, if you'll notice, Opal never once denied my claim of being a swarming mass of hornets.
yeah.
Also true.
Yeah.
My mic
just
is really
imagining-
close to my headphones, so
What would
that's why you hear the
autism
buzzing.
taste like? Fucking macaroni and cheese. Just he's holding up a wine sifting glass. Ah, good year for autism. Sipping it.
Yes.
Autism would taste like a perfect, a fresh king crab out of the sea, eaten on the shoreline with a portable barbecue. Fresh. Like that.
Oh, please. You know full well it tastes
I
like
need that
Prince's
soundbite.
disappointment.
I need that.
Fucking Shelly, that sounds like a perfect weekend. Can we?
Exactly.
That sounded romantic.
Can we just take a trip sometime? That sounds great.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking. ooh.
Autism tastes like falling on your two front teeth. And it's the blood.
God.
No,
Fishing-
I thought
fishing for
autism
crab.
tasted like biting tinfoil.
Fishing for crab is sort of like fishing for autists on the internet to fuck with, right? I mean, you have to have the right tools. You have to throw the line out properly. You have to get the right bait.
You could
And then
totally
you
drown.
have to reel them in slowly and carefully with experience. Right?
Yeah, and then when you put them in a bucket together, they try to crawl over each other to get out of the bucket.
And they pull each
I've,
other back in.
Yeah, I've only done like abalone picking. That's the only like sea fishing I've ever done.
And when one finally crawls out and gets close to the rim before he's pulled back in, the last thing you hear is, "I'm not that type of retarded." He's dragged back in.
We caught it.
Jesus
I
Christ.
caught crab.
We know.
Good,
We
good.
know.
Probably from your mom's.
Oh, oof.
Good.
Right from the beginning.
I was a C-section.
Good. So was I. Why are we talking
Me
about
too, actually.
I was an accident.
this?
You said it, not me.
Yeah, like
I
no,
don't think he cares, Anthony.
literally, your dad was walking across the room and he slipped and
He just
like fell
slipped
into
and
your
fell right
mom's
in. Yeah.
fell
Yeah.
into your mom's vagina.
Never was heard from again.
That was it. He lived there for the rest of his life.
Jesus.
Well, now we know what
I
Billy
have-
Inspector's kinks are.
I have a story.
I don't want to hear it.
My kinks are smoking and 1950s
Smoking's
style
a good
space helmets.
Excuse you, sir, but that is wrong. Your kink should only be missionary position with the desire to
I know,
make children.
dude. I know. But the promise of space and a world where smoking is only sexy and not smelly and harmful is nice.
Yeah, I like when chicks put out cigarettes on my nipples.
I
can't be in this conversation.
I like when they flick ashes in my face. Anyway, let me just like.
Yeah, I like when they take the cigarette and they, when you go to tap it, but they tap it over my exposed urethra.
Yeah.
Ouch. Hell.
That's the best.
Okay.
Wakes you up in the morning,
Yeah.
I'd imagine it would.
Dude.
I'm Shelly D, and today we'll be
I'm
burning a
not
hole
weird
in
at
my
all.
urethra.
Totally no.
Also, Shelly, if you'll take a look in the chat, I have updated Midnight Chimes as OC.
Yep.
Oh, I
very
saw
accurate.
that. Okay.
No, you made him look a lot more masculine and aggressive than he really is. I mean,
Yeah, it looks like it's something out of.
funny.
It's why it looks like it's out of a hentai, and it actually looks like it's a decent artwork.
Back in the
I was gonna make a
90s,
joke
I
about it
was
looking
in
like
a
a
very
dick, but-
famous
Sheldon.
analysis series.
So, in all
Sheldon.
seriousness, horse faces do look like dicks.
Okay.
yeah, I
Now,
watched his video.
Joe Camel looks like a dick, and he
No,
smokes cigarettes
He is a dick.
and cigarettes.
Oh, what's
So
this?
Midnight
little
Sheldon,
Chimes- Somebody, hold on. Somebody posted in Barrel a Midnight Chimes video where he talks about gender, and
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
boy.
didn't get very far along in that.
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of wanted to blow my brains out when he started talking about the non-binary, which I
Wait, he
started
actually did try to tackle that shit in a 5-minute video.
yeah.
That like
5
he does
minutes.
realize that is way more than 5 minutes worth of shit to talk about.
Yeah.
They worked wonders with that Alexander, whatever the fuck his name is.
Hamilton.
No,
the guy responded.
Why am I not surprised that teenager's first response is Hamilton?
What was that?
I've seen it.
Did you say Death Grips?
We
No, I'm
believe
sorry.
it. Yeah. Oh boy. Jesus.
I
Who's
live in
living?
Sacramento. I had to short stop in my car because MC Ride was skateboarding.
Okay,
in front
okay,
of me.
I get it. But who is living in this chat?
Living.
Yeah, it's in the
Well,
actual
I
physical
think I'm
chat.
alive. Do I have a pulse? Let me
No, in the actual physical chat here, Smarta. Like, who is the person named living?
No, we're just all zombies.
Smarter.
I know Living used to be in the old limbo. or
Okay, so
whatever.
Living Robot.
Living robot.
Okay,
No, I know. Living Robot was they showed up during the performance major thing because they mentioned that they'd been abused before, and I felt really bad because the person who threw him out was foul, and I was like, oh great, I just let an abuse victim be thrown out because of a pedophile. Let me fix that.
Oh, okay.
Am I crossing the line, Anthony?
How?
So I can-
Well, you're not worse than I am.
Do you
so
support the white race, Living Robot? I mean, if you're not white, you're not right.
oh, okay.
Besides, white people can't be racist.
I mean, Jar would be okay with that statement, and he's a robot.
Is Jar black?
I'm an actual racist.
He sounds like that, by the way. That's him. I don't.
Well,
yeah, I
well,
don't think so.
Sheldon, you clearly strongly prefer the company of other white people.
No,
And
it's
you don't
just
try
I
to
believe
hide the
that-
fact.
It's just that I believe that black people tend to have stronger leg muscles, and that makes me racist. So I'm racist.
Well, by,
Right, yeah.
by technical definition, he's absolutely correct. That makes him a racist.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm racist.
Sheldon, I have a question.
What's up?
I don't know if anyone else knows who this is, but Professional Puppy. I wanted to know.
No.
I wanted to know what your opinion, because he's kind of active on top of the
I don't know
barrel,
who this is.
and he doesn't.
Oh, Pop. Yeah, Pop.
I thought
Yeah,
they
yeah.
threw him out because he.
I
he
keep
doesn't-
throwing
he
him out.
doesn't-
He keeps coming back.
He's like a
I don't
boomerang.
think. I don't think he's a bad guy, but he
I do.
doesn't seem like somebody who would be in top of the barrel. So, like, what is your guys' opinion on him?
Wait.
I have been told. I'll let Sheldon go first.
Pop.
I heard the words you were saying about that guy, but
Hold on. Let Sheldon talk. Let Sheldon talk.
I think Pop can be a little bit annoying in calls, but generally speaking. I don't mind talking to him. He's not that bad to have a conversation with. Because sometimes he's really interested in really having. Because I like having long form sort of discussions about particular topics, and I can do it for hours at a time. And he likes doing that kind of stuff. So he's not too bad.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him at all.
I'll be honest.
He's annoying in chat because he does the woof woof hello. Woof,
Agreed.
I got paranoid when that Foxler guy, when I got a hold of him, his first response was ARF, and I'm like, he's doing the Kira thing.
Arf, arf.
No, just one ARF.
No,
I have a
with
question.
me, I find Pup annoying. Number 1, how he talks. Number 2, how he laughs. Number 3, all of the emoticons he uses. And 4, he likes lowly porn, so that makes me hate him completely.
He is a lolicon, it's true.
Jesus.
And apparently shut up. The only reason that he is apparently allowed in barrel is because some people take great amusement in watching me abuse this boy.
Okay.
You know what? There's better punching bags.
I was waiting for the punchline on that one. I'm like, in the only.
I constantly change his name to pedophile pup.
Okay.
And I kick him.
Okay.
What's your defense? Arf, arf.
He does like lolly. Other than that, we don't really have any. We don't have any evidence that he's actually tried to hit on or engage in some kind of sexual communication with a minor. So
he I mean I haven't I don't have a problem with him, but that kind of brings up a point. I think there are several people, I could be wrong, but I think there are several people in Top of the Barrel who are into lolicon, and I would advise.
I only know of one.
All right, Pastel Opal, let me give you some advice. If you're hanging out with somebody and they're giving you yuck vibes, you probably shouldn't.
No.
If there's other people on Top of the Barrel that you have unapologetic information about or direct evidence that they are doing this, let me know.
I don't.
Then how do you know?
If I just remember hearing about it, but I could be wrong. But my main point is that if there is even one person who's into that sort of.
Yeah.
I'm not saying... No, listen to me finish. If there is even one person in there, I think that I would advise to talk to the person.
You're saying
and
this thing is happening and saying the person, but there's no way anyone can talk to someone if they don't know
Would you
let
Opal finish, and then we will berate Opal.
Sorry, excuse me.
I want to get my lecture in one go, not 3.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I'm saying if there's somebody in any server who is into that sort of stuff, I would advise to either talk to them or ban them from the server, because we don't want to be accused of people like Silver Quill or anything that didn't do anything.
I don't care if people are into lolicon. I don't give a fuck.
I do.
I don't care at all. Why should I?
No, it's whether they're using the chat.
I'll make fun of them for it because I don't share this preference, but in of itself,
isn't the question whether they're using the social interaction to find a way to get now I have access to kids to hit on? Isn't that the thing we're trying to prevent here?
No, my point is that if somebody is into...
Hold on. I mean, just the fact that somebody likes lolicon is not enough for me to believe that they're going to start actually hitting on kids.
Exactly.
Right?
It's whether they're actually doing that or not.
Right. If I find out that they're doing it, well, they're fucking gone. Right? But other than that, I can't really do anything at that point. Right? I'm not... Well, hold on. Let me finish. I mean, I'm not so authoritarian in this. I'm pretty libertarian on a lot of things. Right? I'm very open to people.
So I have a question about that. You said you're a libertarian. Rocky says those are the kind of people that say if the child consents.
Well, no, I'm philosophically libertarian.
Okay.
So
there's negative waves through every alignment, the child consents. Yeah.
Well, we can talk about if a kid can consent.
I'm assuming.
No. Even if you did have a state who sent a libertarian representative to Congress, and he was like, well, in my state, if the child consent, he'd shit, no, never mind, 17 it is. He'd have to say a number, even if it was a libertarian representative in our government.
You can't.
I'm just saying,
The child
if somebody,
consents can't be your real stance.
if somebody is into lolicon and they turn out to be a pedophile, I feel like that there's a good chance that people will say that we're being just like the Toon Critic drama.
Well, they can go ahead and say that, and I'll tell them they're retarded and make fun of them.
Well, yeah, then why does it come up to...
Let me give you some advice there, Opal. It's a case-by-case basis. Here's the other problem. Like, for example, in the fowl situation, if someone knew fowl, like, how guys could you not notice? Because there's a lot of things with hindsight being 2020. Him in the necrophilia Follicon fan fictions he used to draw that he used to be quite proud of. I remember telling him, I'm like, hey, look, I remember the time when Sheldon went to go read a fan fiction, got totally grossed out, and he's like, that was mine, and he was really proud of that. He's like, I broke a member of the PFC with my shitty ass. My reaction was, I thought fowl was just being an edgy faggot. It's in the fucking name, Dark Edge. I didn't realize it was an actual...
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, like...
We go out there look, let's put it this way. If fucking like 1 or 2 or probably 3 or 4, if that step kept happening, I'm assuming in that chat, I'm imagining policy would change eventually.
Well, you know, it's really quite tricky, or it's really quite potentially, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, the problem with it is that your example here with Fowl and his past behavior, you know, seeing him engage in that stuff, I'm not the kind of person who is going to start making assumptions about things just because of this particular case, right? So we had this guy who, you're right, he wrote these really fucking gross fan fictions, and the potential for it to be him fucking around to gross people out is pretty reasonably high. I mean, we are on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of trolls around. That is a particular tactic. People like to fuck with their friends, you know, so it's not a terrible assumption. Or the other side of it being, well, maybe he's actually into that kind of stuff and likes to incorporate it into his art or whatever. See, I'm not going to go either way with it. I'm not going to assume either or. I'm just going to go, well, you know, this is a thing I read and I thought it was gross. And down the line, you know, it's very possible that, you know, Fowl's intention with that fic was not that he's actually into that stuff and that he wanted to fuck with someone, but also is into Mintheart and people of that age. That's another possibility. I don't know. I can't read Fowl's mind. I don't know what his authorial intent was, right? But I try not to engage in that kind of motivational guessing game because most of the time it's not very accurate, I find. So I just don't do it. Well, what I tend to do is if something arises, I just deal with it, right? And I try not to do too much of this, you know, putting the pieces together and, you know, putting up my fucking cork board and, oh, this must be connected to this and this thing over here. Maybe, you know, I don't.
Okay.
Why does this sound like Brony Inspector?
Right, no, because
I look at it like this. Like, it's allegedly the United States government, like if you check out certain books from the library, allegedly there's this big tinfoil hat that you go on a list or something like that. I think it's an alright idea to just kind of keep an eye on certain people, not necessarily heckle them, but, you know, like, okay, these are the following.
Sure.
Maybe.
That's a little bit different. Yeah, I think that's fine. If you think that somebody's behavior, whatever they engage in is sufficient enough to, you know, keep an eye out, well, that's a little bit different because then you're not imposing anything on them. You're just looking out for your own community and yourself at that point. So that's
really, I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just trying to like have the best interest. If that makes sense.
We're just talking. It's fine.
Okay, from the way people describe Puppy's speech pattern, I get Ross vibes. Could be wrong.
Ross. Dub.
God.
For bees.
I got his YouTube channel, Sheldon. Somebody was like, you should cover him on How Not to Brony. And I'm like, I think people know about Ross.
What's his YouTube channel?
Okay, let me go to DA.
Well, I'm going to take off. I
want to hear him read.
Alright, no problem.
Yeah, talk to you later.
You know, I don't want you to have Ross's channel.
No offense. Talking to you again, Shelly.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
See ya.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was like, no offense.
No,
if I give someone underage Ross's channel and something goes wrong, people are like, why did you give an underage girl Ross's channel?
Yeah, I get that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead now too, so I can work on this video. You guys take it easy.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, have a good one.
Now, Anthony and Inspector, maybe it's just that I don't know Lita very well, but Has he been acting weird lately?
I don't know him very well. I'm not in that chat. He's always seemed like a weird guy to me.
I don't know. He's just been really, really invested in this mint-heart thing.
Generally speaking, yeah, my big question is what is his dog in that mint-heart fight? Like, what is he trying to get? And Sheldon, unfortunately, and I asked him very directly, what's his motivation? He didn't say very much. So
I asked him something similar. I have a theory, but I don't think...
Please,
I don't know
no.
Right.
Like, I'd love to entertain your theory. I struggle to speculate.
So apparently, maybe you should cut this out, but apparently, Vita
cut what out? What?
What I'm about to say. Vita's had issues with parental figures in the past. That's what I want.
Just that he's biased towards the parents.
Well, I don't even.
Shut up.
Yeah, one.
Not even that, but he's had issues with parental figures in the past, and my theory is that he maybe he sees himself a little bit in Mintheart and wants to maybe like protect her in a way, like make sure that everything is okay, and wants to give her like the life that he never had.
This has something to do with the kind of person that he is.
That
you know what's weird? Like he just seems like such a fuck to me that had never occurred to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like even the weird fucks on the internet, I'm sure has some sensitive spots somewhere.
On lieu of possibly shooting my foot off, that I'm not supposed to talk about certain people, that would be news to me. The way that I've never, I'm gonna stop there because
and I'm sorry. I feel like I've talked about this too much in front of fucking Anthony. Just like I try not to bring him up out of respect, and I just feel like I would. I
just don't have anybody else to talk about this with. Because the people in Top of the Barrel are...
Well, the issue with the Mintheart thing is that in order to figure out what's actually going on, one must understand what's going through certain individuals' minds, and in order to clarify that, I think is just one of those things that I don't think he has a straight answer for what it is he wants out of this, or why he feels so motivated to do it. I mean, unless it was just to fucking try and I don't know what they wanted with Anthony. I'm not sure what he was walking into there. The whole thing boggles my mind, and there's just so many strings that connect back to it. It's hilarious, almost. Yeah, it's weird. I just wonder what he wants.
I mostly ask because I want to make sure that everyone is okay.
What?
That's weird. I don't.
That's heavy.
You know what? Like, here's the thing. If the internet blew up tomorrow, none of us would ever talk to each other again, and everything would be okay. Like, you do get that, right? Like,
no, I do get that. Maybe it's dumb.
So maybe to water down your motivation a little bit is all I'm saying. I'm just trying to water down your motivation for everyone being okay. That's an inevitability.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Look at it like this. Everybody's like, we got to get her out of there as soon as possible. That has not happened, and Mintheart is still... I'm not a doctor. I don't have a DSM-5. I can't tell you how much damage has been done by her being there.
One of those
but
around.
On a surface level, it doesn't look any worse. And maybe that's not the place to judge this time. Maybe the surface level isn't the right place to go. But from where I sit, that's another reason I bowed out. So
and every teenager that says they need to move out, I just yell the same thing at them: is get your ass. Join the workforce. Congratulations. Now you know what it means to move out. Do you want to stay in? You might not even ever need to get a job if that's the case. Hope you don't want to do anything interesting. But that's just my like harsh fucking take on like, oh, go fund me, go fund this, go get a job,
Mm-hmm.
Someone's hiring, like you want out that bad. Like back in the day, it was like when someone was an emancipated minor back in like the 90s and 2000s, it was like, yep, and they've been working at McDonald's as soon as they're done with school, and their life is this nightmarish struggle. And it's like there was no such thing as this, and I feel like I'm just ranting right now, but there was no such thing as GoFundMe. And like if the situation was actually that bad that you needed to get out of it, like there was you knew how to ask your close friend circle, and you knew how to like hustle to fucking fix your problems. And it's work in and of itself to just get the court paperwork signed to get to move out at that age, let alone support yourself.
I remember like a couple years ago, I was thinking about being
just to wrap this up, like back in the day, whenever it occurred to a teenager to get mad at their parents enough to take this route, there was no such thing as GoFundMe. So putting your differences aside and working through that shit was always the more practical solution.
Mm-hmm.
So I often question when I see these things, how serious are these problems actually? And then follow-up question to that, and how much does someone feel the need to inflate their problems just to make this GoFundMe stand out among all others? I was suspicious from the get-go, though.
I hope I'm not like bringing up topics that like make people angry or don't want to talk about.
I'm just being a fucking boomer right now. Don't worry about me. And plus, you could have just said I heard those words but didn't listen. Like you didn't. You've good track record with just not listening to what I'm saying. So.
Well, I did listen to that.
Worked for you in the past. Might work this time.
Once. Well, I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings.
No, I don't. My feelings don't matter. What are you talking about?
Start crying. Guys, I gotta mute for a second. I'm sorry.
That's why I bury myself in the docky pile. Thank you.
You're going in the docky pile.
Yeah, that's where my feelings. That's the only place where my feelings matter.
The sex
docky
pillow pile.
Hello, they're called docky makara pillows.
I'm gonna get one for Christmas.
Lucky. Oh. Which one are you getting?
I can't remember her name, but it's the chick from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Okay.
What a long name.
Do you know who you're ordering it from?
I just looked at it on Amazon because my mom doesn't trust all those, or I don't think she trusts all those Japanese seller places, and I just don't want to start anything.
Yeah.
What's I'm Docky Mafia. I can pretty much tell you who made it and where it came from. Like, yeah.
Here, let me get
the link, because there's a lot of knockoffs going around right now, and there's basically nothing we can do about it except quality sells itself. That's all I can say.
Since the show with the Game & Watch incident, you just got to make a big re about it on Twitter, and they'll totally listen.
G&H Arts.
Oh yeah, okay. What is it?
G&H Arts.
G&H. Okay.
No, G&H. There. It's not bad.
Oh, okay.
It's just...
Yeah. Now this guy moves a lot of shit. He's a big mover.
I'm kind of surprised that Amazon's even selling these. I didn't think that would appear on their site.
$49, and it's peach skin. Okay. All right. So he's using a second tier supplier. That's why his price is so low. But he does. God, this guy probably does 5 times my number. Not sales annually, but just like units sold per month wise. He's selling cheap shit though. That's the sad part.
Is it bad?
No, it's fine. It's just peach skin, and it's likely just art that another docky seller has cycled out. So now it's not like no one's exactly looking to get paid for the art at this point, but it's not exactly approved by the artist. Someone somewhere is just like, hey, you sold one of my dockies. What the fuck? So I guarantee you someone somewhere said that, but it's such old news, it doesn't really matter. Like, keep the $50, you fuck, it doesn't matter, It's not first party, but it's nice and it's cheap. And this guy moves a lot of fucking product, and he's...
I just hope that it doesn't, print out where it's the line art and then, the colors are bleeding out and it's all bad.
Oh my god, I got a redhead Luco or whatever.
There's absolutely no guarantee when you're not... let me know. I'd love to know.
Okay. And if it's bad, I'll probably just ask for a refund.
I'm waiting to see if I get fucking banned for this remark.
Banned? It's your room.
From what?
Hello?
1 second. I just had someone distract me with some bullshit.
Nice.
That's every day, though.
I was tempted to make a
Lachlan,
joke,
basically, someone's original response here is that 90% of my Discord is gay or trans. I don't know why. And Pedantic Romantic goes, "Hui, the agenda is proceeding smoothly, I see." And then my response was, "Well, I hope they're at least white."
Oh, God.
But Anthony Aguilar, ain't you one of them Mexican people?
That's why I put the name in there. Just so that's my get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
The Spanish Inquisition.
Wait a minute, Anthony Aguilar, ain't you one of them Mexicans?
Exactly.
He does prefer to hang out with white people. I have noticed that. He strongly prefers the whites.
Have you ever hung out with the white man? They're just nicer. We'll put together great jobs, and they just smell better. They're good people.
They smell better.
That's an Uncle Ruckus song.
Oh God.
My grandma, I went to lunch with her, and it got into politics randomly, and her and her grandpa, or my grandpa, they said kill.
Hold on, how old are your grandparents? Just can I get some context?
They're like 50, 60.
Oh God, my parents are older than your grandparents.
My parents are like the age of your grandparents. That's normal, but you got some. What are your parents my age? What the fuck? Hold on.
I'm not putting that out there.
No, and yeah, because I can do the math, and they are.
So basically, they kept saying kill all Muslims, and at first I thought it was a joke, but then they kept saying it, and I don't know how to feel.
How about, just go like, whoa, I don't know about that, but why we gotta kill anyone? That's not what Jesus wants.
Yeah, I'll say exactly that.
Yeah, with those exact, with even me trailing off in that way. What did you do?
What did I do?
How did you respond to kill all Muslims? What did that...
Well, before, the way we got to the topic is that we were talking about Pearl Harbor, and they were talking about how lots of Japanese citizens that didn't have anything to do with it were killed, and lots of American Japanese people were suspected of being spies, and so they were put
they're talking about
camps
the internment.
And
yeah, they're talking about the internment camps. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I was all like, well, obviously those Japanese people, they didn't necessarily do anything wrong. They were just Japanese people.
Well, on top of that, they had their homes and businesses taken away. It was a very different landscape for Japanese Americans pre 1944. So.
I made the
particularly
argument
particularly in California. So yeah, so they were pro internment. What was that? Was that their?
No, they were saying that the internment was wrong.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I was telling them, well, isn't that sort of like kind of in the same ballpark as hating Muslims and not wanting them in the country?
Well, hold it, Opal. So back in 1940, the Japanese they had trouble focusing thoughts, focusing, really, getting together and being able to, and so they put these camps there to help them concentrate, you see.
Oh my God.
Because, we're a loving nation.
Okay, all right, good work.
Because of their slanted eyesight, they kept getting headaches, and so they needed to concentrate better.
It's true, and we helped them out because of the good-natured of America.
We're just great.
I know.
We've done nothing wrong ever.
Let me explain this to you. So you have to understand, Mexico has always been on the border of America, essentially. And yet, white people had to go all the way down to Africa to get slaves. It's because my race isn't full of a bunch of bitches, and we weren't willing to be enslaved. That's what that is.
Okay.
You might call that really racist, but if I say that to a Mexican, they'll be like,
no, he'd be like, you're damn right.
Damn right.
Yeah, those white people come around here. No.
Why do they sound southern?
Because Mexico is south of the United States.
Yeah.
America's pain.
It's no mistake that the Mexican cartel could probably beat the shit out of the African army. I'm just saying.
Which one's better armed? Which one's more organized? Which one actually has better leadership
drugs.
And organizations? And I was about to say, now let's have a look at who has newer, better drugs.
With all the kids they're having, they have an army all to themselves.
I would say that okay, a Toyota Land Cruiser is a Toyota Land Cruiser, no matter what year Toyota Land Cruiser you're buying. Mount a gun on the back, have a good wheelman behind the wheel, and you're good to go. You're ready to fight. But the new one breaks down less. And that's the only point there, is to make they're both equally capable vehicles. The newer one is not going to break down and give you that disadvantage. The Africans are strictly disadvantages. Their trucks are too old. Same trucks, though. Toyota Land Cruiser, same truck.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Buy a Toyota. That's how to respond to that.
I love what you do for me. I'm just imagining, like, if fucking Brony Inspector were your uncle and he'd start to give you, like, life advice.
This video is sponsored by
he'd be like,
Toyota.
so let me just tell you about fucking goddamn something about cars until you feel better.
Yeah. Hold on. Did the cars fix it? See, they always do. Well, I was going at it with that guy about electric car charging for a minute till I was just like, oh, he drank the Kool-Aid on what the industry is telling him. I can't argue with this guy at this point. Like, he said, but Volkswagen said they were already making a deal with people. I'm like, but Volkswagen lied to you the first time about the diesel cars being clean. Why do we trust what they're saying? They just made a deal with Walmart, the other sneaky assholes. I don't trust any of it. You want the company that no one has any faith in at this point. Fucking boxes. Everyone in the audience is getting a fucking t-shirt, and we're putting this fire out. This is terrible.
Shit.
Hey, we're sorry about that. You know, us here at Blizzard are always working on the latest cutting-edge thing, and breaking into mobile games is a key part of bringing a more complete gaming experience to our consumers. We want to thank you all for coming out to EA 2018, and we got some t-shirts for everyone. Panel's over. Like,
okay, so I know what I want to do here for the thumbnail. See that thought police thing in the chat? I need to shoot Wyatt Chang's head over the bitch. The Asian guy who went out there and said, don't you guys own phones?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that
Better
guy.
phone. What?
What do you want?
She moved to a neighborhood with the Whole Foods. Well, why don't you
mean you don't live in a gated community? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Why don't you what?
Why can't
What do you mean?
can't?
Why don't you just get a better car? Well, I mean, you don't have phones? Oh boy.
Jesus Christ, fuck this place.
Well, no, I'm afraid the woman I married's in her late 40s at this point, so her kid's about to go into middle school, and between mowing the lawn and drinking Monster Ultra, I really, and the kid keep bugging me to use the phone. I don't see where I'm going to have time to use the phone to play the game. Oh no! We hadn't planned on this contingency.
I know what I want to do. I should just do cutaways.
Smithers Burns running to the escape pod.
I'm not gonna make it. I did catch that. I did finally hit record.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I was like, I'm not letting the rest of this go in the fucking garbage. Fuck, I had a thought and it just fucked off. Oh, goddamn.
I'm thinking of downgrading to a flip phone. What about me?
Jesus Christ.
Look, I came to this video game convention here so I could talk to you face to face. If I wanted to text or get an app or whatever, I would have done that. Now tell me, you got a game for me or not?
Hello.
I'm afraid we not.
I have returned.
How is it?
So
Leo?
I listened to the audio, but I'm afraid I'm missing some context here.
Okay, so I noticed just before, like, the other day or some shit like that, Mintheart, or not Mintheart, fucking Opal was like showed up in like the comment section and started saying, I think that you guys shouldn't just, it was in one of the Mintheart videos, you can't just blame it all on Mintheart's parents. She's responsible for this, and this. And I remember thinking, I feel that this is bait for me to go, oh yeah, I totally agree. You know, I'm just gonna heart this comment. I'm just gonna heart this comment and not say a fucking thing. I know what bait looks like. And then freaking today on Twitter, I noticed Pastel Opal winds up putting out a tweet, like, bitching about, like, or, like, the people who gave money there, and I see Button's name on there, and I'm like, this is just me, like, tinfoil hatting it. I'm like, I feel like someone's trying to bait me into something. So then that was the talk. That's it.
I don't want to be in another How Not to Brony video. Unless I wind up in another How Not to Brony video.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well,
I think it's nothing.
Unfortunately, I don't have any information one way or the other.
No, it wasn't ever anything big, and I said, "Look, Opal, don't worry about it." So yeah.
Right? No, we were actually just laughing about how, like, oh no, like then a minute ago, like, look in the chat. Oh, it has to be a big deal. It's really not.
Yeah, no, fucking, we were making fun of goddamn Diablo 3, and fucking Brony Inspector's like, we could have grabbed some random fucking Brony mod to go out there and do a better job, where he would have just pissed himself and run off stage.
I'm gonna get up here. I'm gonna pee all over the front of my jeans. What do you think of that? Here I go.
To the Dr. Wolf fucking thing with the goddamn water bottles.
Okay, I'm afraid you're fired, so please get in your Tesla and drive as far away from here as you possibly can. Now, what do we have? Do we have any more swag we can give out to these people? They hate us right now. What do you have?
Oh, we gave out all the water bottles. I'm sorry.
Oh, no more water bottles. Well, what about T-shirts? Anything?
Those are for tomorrow's giveaway.
Crack open those boxes there. Thank you for coming out. We've got some great T-shirts here in Video Game EA 2018. Everyone, good to have you out here in Blizzard for all developing all kinds of new sort of platforms to make sure that there's all kinds of games for consumers. Panel, so good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I know.
They could have done anything else, just like, we got water bottles? Get them. T-shirts, good. Well, those are for the bottles. Get them out there. For God's sake. Everyone gets a free T-shirt. All right, T-shirts for everyone. All right, Blizzard is great. Where's the T-shirts? Not get better phones or anything stupid like that.
I would have gave anything if they would have just backpedaled and made it an absolute fucking meme on stage. You know what? We were just
It's gonna be on Steam. It's gonna be on Steam soon, we promise.
Yeah, this is nothing. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep, America.
Oh, Lord. Alright, well, I hate to cut you guys short, but I need to bounce, so I'll check in on you guys later.
No problem, boss.
Car driving sounds.
Yeah, I don't think he was cool. That would have been good, Pod. That would have been good. Maybe I could isolate and get rid of that.
I don't know. It was a car. It was all car sounds.
Yeah.
I could kind of hear you. It was mostly just like... It was like a 97 Chevy Corsica going down the road.
Okay, so I'm going to stop recording again since I do have something